Welcome to another episode of We Reacts, because that's what reacting. We. I'm the host, 3. Appreciate you for rocking with me. Let's get to work, though. You hear me?
Now, the London borough of Brent is located in the northwest of London and is most known for Wembley Stadium, which is able to hold around 90,000 people. In 2023, the crime rate within the borough of Brent was recorded at 114 crimes per 1,000 people, this then coming in 9% higher than the London rate of 105 crimes per 1,000 people. As of the last census in 2021, the population of Brent was estimated to have been around 340,000 people, this factor making it the fifth largest London borough in terms of population. What a lot of the residents currently living in and around the London borough of Brent are unaware of, however, is the long-standing gang rivalries that have been playing out within the streets, resulting in certain gangs claiming colors like red and blue, turning northwest London into one big Crip versus Blood gang war that might have been inspired by the gangs from Los Angeles. However, the war I'll be discussing within this video is that of OKB from Kingsbury versus A9 from Wembley, with this war becoming one of the deadliest gang feuds in the area, resulting in stabbings, shootings, and multiple murders occurring within the streets of Brent. Now, this rivalry can actually get quite confusing. However, I'll do my best at explaining each gang involved and who they directly oppose. Before I start this video, however, YouTube says only 5% of you are subscribed, so if you enjoy this content, feel free to subscribe as it helps out the channel. But without further ado, sit back and enjoy this video.
See? That's YouTube letting him know that y'all listen, subscribe, man. Looking at when they subscribing, shame on you.
Now, OKB, or Original Kingsbury Boys, who were previously known as TFL, which was an acronym for True Family Loyalty and Thugs for Life, are a large street gang based around Kingsbury within the NW9 postcode. The gangs based around Kingsbury have historically identified with the color red and even repped Bloods from the mid-2000s to the early 2000s and 10s. The Kingsbury gang was also closely affiliated with the Press Road crew from Neasden, NW10, both of these gangs having a deadly and long-standing rivalry with the gang from the Chalk Hill estate known as CHB, or Chalk Hill Boys, which flagged the color blue, and went on to become the A9 gang later down the line. The Chalk Hill Boys are a street gang predominantly based around the Chalk Hill Estate within Wembley, HA9. The Chalk Hill Estate was once known as the Crack Hill Estate, as it was plagued by drugs and crime during the 2000s, with the youths in the area referring to themselves as the Crack Hill Mob. The younger generation of this gang, however, is known as A9, as it's based around the HA9 postcode, although nowadays the gang draws membership from the Hurst Crescent Estate, with this area being known as HC. Both of these gangs are allied with South Kilburn, Stonebridge, and 9th Street, whilst they beef with Kingsbury, Press Road, and Mozart. During the 2000s, the main rivalry in the area was between the Press Road crew and the Chalk Hill Boys from the Chalk Hill Estate. In February 2005, Press Road gang member Stunts would notice Peanut, who was a leading figure residing from the Chalk Hill Estate. It's rumored Stunts would shoot toward Peanut at close range, whilst both members were on a busy road in Harrow. Stunts then fled moments later, whilst Peanut luckily made it out with his life, surviving the attempted murder. This attempted murder angered CHB members, one of these members being 29-year-old Jason Green, or Coke, who was the brother of Peanut. Coke vowed to retaliate for his brother, and just under a month later, he would allegedly find his get back. On the 22nd of March 2005,
The next time they seen him, his ass was gone. Mm-hmm. Back it up. On God. He busted a move out first, though. Did first.
Stunts would shoot toward Peanut at close range, whilst both
He already did.
residing from the Chalk Hill Estate. It's rumored Stunts would shoot toward Peanut at close range, whilst both members were on a busy road in Harrow. Stunts then fled moments later,
On a busy road, he did all that.
whilst Peanut luckily made it out with his life, surviving the attempted murder. This attempted murder angered CHB
All right.
members, one of these members being 29-year-old Jason Green, or Coke, who was the brother of Peanut. Coke vowed to retaliate for his brother, and just under a month later, he would allegedly find his get back. On the 22nd of March 2005, 24-year-old Sean Stanislas, or Stunts, would be standing outside of his home in Willesden when two members of the Chalk Hill Boys noticed him. One of these was believed to be Coke. Anyways, Stunts was shot multiple times at close range, sadly being pronounced dead only minutes later, with a murder investigation being launched. Despite an entire investigation, no one has ever been arrested in connection to the murder, despite police suspecting Coke, even allegedly going on to name him as a suspect, with friends of Stunts even stating that they believed Coke was responsible for his death. Before they were able to arrest and charge him, however, Coke himself would be shot dead in July 2000.
Damn. get back and effortless. What the fuck? I was about to say something. They came back and got his ass too now. Whoa.
On to name him as a suspect, with friends of Stunts even stating that they believed Coke was responsible for his death.
What I was gonna say is he did that stunt in the street and that shit cost him his life. He died. See what he did? Shooting at people in the street. Huh. Yeah. Some what? Paper? Yo, bro. You see what happened? His ass playing with people in the street, right? Shooting at people, right? The next time they seen his ass, he was dead, bro. That's what. See what I'm saying? You gotta stop playing with people, bro. Motherfuckers got one life, cause all that, like, niggas doing too much. Like, shut the fuck up. Your ass wanna play, you wanna run in the street playing. Bet. Got something for your stupid ass. You gotta stop playing with people. Mm. Gotta stop playing with people, bro. That type of shit right there, you can't be, you cannot be doing shit like that. I ain't gonna lie. You definitely can't be blowing at nobody in traffic. Busy traffic, right? Blowing at somebody trying to kill him. Don't kill him and then think it's a game. Because it definitely ain't.
To name him as a suspect, with friends of Stunts even stating that they believed Coke was responsible for his death. Before they were able to arrest and charge him, however, Coke himself would be shot dead in July 2016, whilst in front of his children. Following the murder of Stunts, multiple tit-for-tat incidents occurred between each gangs involved. However, in 2006, the war continued to heaten up, with Coke being shot dead in retaliation for Stunts' death a year prior. On the 18th of July 2006, 29-year-old Coke, or Jason Green, who was the brother of Peanut and was a prominent member of the Chalk Hill Boys. Anyways, at around 8:30 a.m., Coke would be sitting in a car with his two children in Wembley, northwest London. While sitting in the
Oh, no. Oh, no, bro. He was with his cheering, bro. Bro, he was with his cheering, bro. Bro, he was with his cheering, bro. Damn, why they moving like that? Damn, probably with his kids though. It was up.
vehicle, two men in two separate cars pulled up. It is believed that a gunman from one of the cars then got closer before shooting Coke at point-blank range, striking him in the heart, fatally wounding 29-year-old Jason Green, or Coke. Both police and emergency services rushed to the scene shortly after the murder. However, despite the best attempts of paramedics at saving Coke's life, he was pronounced
As long as they didn't get the kids.
dead just 30 minutes later at around 9 a.m. With yet another murder investigation being launched, just weeks following this murder, a Press Road member known as Tux was arrested and charged, as he had allegedly sent a letter to other Press Road members about the retaliation of Stunts. In the end, however, he was found guilty and sentenced to life with a minimum of 25 years for the murder of Jason Green, or Coke. Following this murder, around the early 2010s, the Press Road crew would
That was get back for Stunts though. You see what I'm saying? They kind of had an idea that he did that because he shot at the brother and tough guy. So they like, well, somebody got to get him back for that. You feel me?
be the target of the UK's first mass ASBO, this targeting 7 members of the Press Road gang from the ages of 18 up to 27. This ASBO then banning
This little boy right here. Oh God.
them from certain areas, as well as publicly naming them and showing their faces. As a result of this, the Press Road gang became less active, with the TFL gang from Kingsbury taking over, this TFL gang later becoming OKB, which I will discuss later on. Around this time, the borough of Brent was going through a massive bandana flagging wave, with alliances of gangs flagging colors like blue, whilst opposing alliances flagged red. This being influenced by the US Bloods and Crips, the gangs flagging blue in Brent, identified under the name A-Team, and included South Kilburn, Stonebridge, Monks Park, and finally Chalk Hill, whilst the gangs that identified with the color red went by SMG and included the gangs from St. Raph's, Kensal Green, and Mozart. However, other gangs later joined, example being Press Road and Kingsbury. Now, around this time, both TFL and Chalk Hill would be releasing tracks on YouTube, example being an audio released in 2011 being titled TFL Blood Gang. Within this song, the rapper can be heard rapping, "Roll with TFL bangers that will murder a Crip, and I heard them Chalk Hill are talking some shit." This entire track being dedicated to disrespecting the gang members from the Chalk Hill estate. Chalk Hill were also rapping around this time, releasing this video from the early 2000s titled Chalk Hill Blue Gang, TFL, NW9, with the channel being titled TFL Blue Gang All Day. This just showing that the colors repped by each gang played a massive role in the gang war. Following the releases of these songs, the war continued, with tit-for-tat shootings and stabbings occurring within the streets of Brent, this then taking the key members of both TFL as well as the Chalk Hill boys off the streets. At the end of 2013 and start of 2014, however, 5 members of the TFL gang would get wrapped up in a case that saw them hiding multiple guns, as well as crack cocaine and heroin at a sports ground in Kingsbury, this being an attempt at avoiding police interference. This was later discovered, however, after one of the gang members was seen by a police officer leaving the park. This prompted Operation Trident to sweep the park, eventually finding 3 guns, multiple rounds of ammunition, and tens of thousands of pounds of crack cocaine and both found in the park and on their persons. This case then led to the arrests of all 5 members, once again taking a large majority of TFL's membership off the roads, leading to younger gang members from the area beginning to take over. The younger TFL members began to go by the name OKB, which was an acronym for Original Kingsbury Boys, whilst their rivals from the Chalk Hill estate became known as A9, taking after their postcode, HA9. A9 also began to claim other areas instead of just the Chalk Hill estate, an example being the Hurst Crescent estate, also based in the HA9 postcode. So for simplicity's sake, the beef was now between OKB, or the Original Kingsbury Boys, and 89 from the HA9 postcode. Both of these gangs continued the bloody and deadly rivalry, and in November 2015, sadly, another person would fall victim to the gang war. On the 7th of November 2015, 17-year-old Che Labastide Wellington, or Grims, who was supposedly aligned with the TFL, or OKB gang. Anyways, on November the 7th, 2015, Grims was attending a 16th birthday party located in Kenton, northwest London. During the party, a group of rival A9 members pulled up and noticed 17-year-old Grims, as well as a friend. Grims was stabbed once in the chest, whilst his friend was stabbed 6 times, sustaining wounds to his back, side, arm, and leg. He was rushed to hospital where he was given 6 pints of blood.
He's died.
A group of rival A9 members pulled up and noticed 17-year-old Grims, as well as a friend.
17. He with a friend too?
Grims was stabbed once in the chest, whilst his friend was stabbed 6 times, sustaining
See what I'm saying? I got his friend stabbed up.
wounds to his back, side, arm, and leg. He was rushed to hospital where he was given 6 pints of blood, luckily saving his life. Sadly, however, Grims collapsed in a nearby alleyway, where emergency services rushed to save his life. Despite the attempts of medical professionals, however, 17-year-old Che Labastide Wellington, or Grims, was pronounced dead only moments following the stabbing, with yet another murder investigation being launched. In the end, however, a small group of rival gang members from the A9 crew would be arrested and charged in connection to the murder of Grims, going on to
I caught them quick.
be found guilty in 2016. One man was sentenced to 13 years for the murder, whilst 3 other men were jailed for 9 years after they were charged with wounding with intent. 2 other men were then sentenced to 2 years for conspiracy to commit violent disorder. Rest in peace, Grims. Now, following this murder, the OKB gang became a lot more prominent in the area, OKB obviously being an acronym for Original Kingsbury Boys, as the area mainly taken up by the OKB gang was in fact Kingsbury. This OKB gang actually began to release music around this time, example being the OKB rapper known as B-Money, who released the track Intro in January 2019. Within this song, he mentioned that him and other OKB members don't do much talking, before grabbing the shotgun. B-Money then followed this release up a year later in March 2020, with a song titled OKB, featuring fellow OKB member K9. This song was seriously cold and has since garnered around 70,000 views. These releases show that OKB has serious potential, but lacks the consistency to blow in the UK drill scene. A9 also began to release music around this time, dropping a track titled Montclair in November 2020. This track amassing just over 100,000 views, and even featuring a lyric, in which the rappers questioned what A9K or A9 Killer was, as they had attacked so many rivals from the OKB gang. Following this, OKB rappers BR and K9 then released a track titled Suwoo on the 10th of January 2021, this being the most successful song released within the rivalry, currently sitting on just under 200,000 views. Sadly, however, just a month later, a member of the A9 gang would be stabbed to death by rival OKB gang members, with this entire incident being caught on a nearby CCTV. On the 18th of February 2021, 16-year-old Drekwon Patterson, or YS, who was rumored
16, bro. My son is 16.
to have been an associate of the A9 gang from Chalk Hill, would be walking down Preston Road within Wembley. Whilst walking, YS was noticed by a large group of rival OKB members in a car. YS was then driven at by the rivals in the car, however they missed him. A group of OKB members then exited the car and began to chase YS, whilst the driver continued to pursue him in the vehicle. Sadly, YS tripped to the ground whilst running away, this being when he was stabbed multiple times all over the body by the rival OKB gang members. The defendants then fled seconds later, getting back into the vehicle and leaving 16-year-old YS to bleed out on the scene. YS attempted to call for passing cars by waving his hand. However, sadly, whilst emergency services were making attempts at saving 16-year-old Drekwon Patterson's life, he was pronounced dead in hospital, with yet another murder investigation being launched. Just a month later, in April 2021, police went on to arrest 5 men on suspicion of murder in connection to the killing of YS. Among the arrested included 2 18-year-olds, 2 21-year-olds, and a 27-year-old. One of these men, in fact, was the OKB rapper known as BR, who was even making music around this time. However, it is in fact believed that he was released on bail after the original arrest, getting straight back into the streets, allegedly going on to kill once again. Rest in peace, YS. Following the death of YS, one of his close friends would release a track in memory of him, this being Mr. Kai, who released the track titled Letter to YS. Within this track, he rapped that YS was actually the one that named him MK, or Mr. Kai, among other lyrics that directly showed love to 16-year-old YS. During the chorus, Mr. Kai rapped the lyrics, YS, this is a letter to you. I'm thinking of the good times that we have been through. I'm thinking of the bad times that we got through. I just want you to know that I love you. Rest in peace, YS. Now, just a few weeks after the deadly attack that was carried out by OKB gang members, their rivals from A9 would get back and retaliate for 16-year-old Drekwon Patterson, or YS. On the 27th of March 2021, just a month following the murder of YS, police would be called to Kingsbury Road at around 11:40 p.m. after reports of gunfire. Upon arrival, police and emergency services treated 2 boys aged 17, both suffering gunshot and knife wounds. The pair were rushed to hospital where they luckily made a recovery. It's known that a third man also suffered injuries. However, he was treated on the scene and was not in a life-threatening condition. Now, it's believed that the 2 boys wounded within this incident were in fact OKB members, with the attackers allegedly being from the A9 gang, as it was thought that this was a get-back for the murder of YS a month prior. However, no one has ever been arrested and charged in connection to this double attempted murder. Now, around this time, a new rapper associated with the A9 crew began to preview his upcoming UK drill songs. This rapper being 18K, who had previously released his Bangers and Mash freestyle just months earlier. This track gained around 10,000 views, with a lot of new eyes beginning to watch the deadly rivalry play out within Brent, that was sadly going to escalate in May 2021, after another person was sadly killed as a result of the never-ending bloody gang feud that has plagued the streets of Brent. On the 4th of May 2021, 21-year-old Gideon Ngwendama, or Tonks, who was thought to have been a member of G9 as well as an affiliate of the A9 gang. Anyways, Tonks and a friend would be walking toward a JD Sports shop in Brent Cross Shopping Center. Whilst walking, Tonks would notice a rival OKB rapper known as BR, who also noticed 21-year-old Tonks. What followed was a short altercation that sadly ended in 18-year-old BR stabbing Tonks in the chest before fleeing seconds later. Tonks stumbled a short distance after being stabbed. However, he soon collapsed collapsed and was pronounced dead minutes later on the scene, with another murder investigation being launched. 18-year-old Boniface Rexon, or BR, was apprehended shortly after the murder by the shopping center's security, before police arrived on the scene and arrested 18-year-old BR, who was then charged with manslaughter in connection to the murder of Tonks. In March 2022, BR was found guilty and was sentenced to 14 years with a further 4 to be served on extended license. Rest in peace, Tonks. Now, it's not known if Tonks was directly involved with the A9 gang, with some stating he was a G9 member and was simply an affiliate of the A9 gang, whilst others state that he was in fact a civilian. Either way, rest in peace, Tonks. Just days following this murder, the gang retaliated on OKB, and on the 7th of May 2021, police and emergency services would be called at around 4:15 p.m. to Church Lane. Upon arriving on the scene, multiple cars riddled with bullets would be discovered. However, no one was wounded, with this allegedly being an attempt at taking an OKB member's life. Police opened an investigation on the scene, and later arrested a man who was taken into North London Police Station. Now, as of most recently, 18K from the A9 gang has continued to grow his audience as a UK drill rapper, releasing songs quite inconsistently, each song gaining more views than the last. And in my opinion, I believe a lot of the rappers involved in this story could make hugely successful legitimate careers if they focus on making music, and not the pointless gang life that has claimed so many people's life. Since then, however, no other major incidents have really occurred within the streets. If you have learned anything from this video, however, make sure that it is to stay out of the streets, as
It's out the road. Wow. Shout out to UK Drill Plug. Until the next one, I'm gone.